Hey guys, thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to be going over XRP. I've covered it a few times in the past. I think this is my seventh video on XRP. If you guys like this content, please subscribe to the channel. We try to look at the cryptocurrency market in a different way than you'll find on most other channels that are looking at short-term, support and resistance, if you want to call it that. So what we're going to go over today with Ripple is the return on investment. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys like this content. And let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Today we're going to be going over Ripple. We're going to look at the return on investment versus time, and we're looking at it in more or less a unique way. We're not trying to time bull runs. We're not trying to time anything. The only thing that we're doing here, which I don't recommend doing, but if you were doing it, is to say what would be your 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and 4 year return on investment. So what that means is if you bought XRP in say January 1st, 2015, what would your ROI have been if you sold on January 1st, 2016? So these graphs will just kind of show you how you would have done and maybe give you an idea of what maybe you should be doing and how you should manage your portfolio. Not that this is financial advice. So the first thing we're going to look at is the 1 year ROI. So note that it doesn't go out to 2019 because I'm more or less showing it in reverse. So this is the end of 2018. This would have been your ROI had you bought at the end of 2018 and then sold now, basically. I obviously could do it the other way, so it shows you today, 2019, and what your ROI would have been if you had bought a year sooner. And maybe I'll make future videos like that. But if it makes sense to think of it the other way, just in your head add a number to each one of these. So let's say this is 2019. So then your ROI at the end of 2019 would have just been whatever it would have been your ROI from purchasing at the end of 2018. So here, interestingly enough, your 1 year ROI with XRP is typically not phenomenal. Now the other time frames are much better. So what is this? What is like a point we can take from this? You don't want to buy XRP and sell it a year later most of the time, because when it does go up, it goes up quickly, and it can spend a lot of time just not really doing a whole lot. So the first point to take from XRP's ROI is you want to hold it for more than 1 year, most likely, assuming it's going to continue doing well, which I'll let you decide that. But you can see that. So 10 to the 0 would be 1. So anytime it's below 1 means your ROI is actually you're losing money. And you can see it does spend a decent amount of time below 1. It also did spend a really long time above 1 and quite far above it. I mean, you can see here your ROI would have been on the order of say 30 or 40x. Over here it would have been let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 500x. I mean, that's incredible. But the thing is it's hard to time these 1 year things. So let's look at a 2 year. 2 year looks much better. So if you bought XRP and held it for 2 years at any given time, the amount of time that you're seeing a net loss is much less, actually. You would have seen it between here and here, and then here and here, and then most recently. So this is basically pushing the narrative essentially that holding XRP is really a long-term play. It's not something you're looking to pick it up and sell it 1 or 2 years later. It's something you really want to hold on for a long time. Basically buy it, put it on your whatever hardware wallet you might have, and then just forget about it for a few years and then come back when we're in some mania phase or something in the in the market cycle. So the 3 year ROI is much better. I mean, you can see that there is a very short period of time where you would have seen a negative ROI. If you had just bought XRP and held it for 3 years, for the last 3 or 4 years, or going back further, and you just held it 3 years, I mean, look, your ROI would have been between around 20x to around 100x if you just held it for 3 years. What that means is you hold it through the bear market. You don't sell it. You're not trying to time these short-term momentum shifts or short-term price swings. You're not trying to do anything like that. You're just buying it. You're forgetting about it. You're not sweating over the day-to-day stuff. You're just holding it for 3 years, and then you're gonna exit your position after 3 years. You can see your ROI is really decent in holding it for 3 years. So this is really encouraging for XRP holders. You just have to remember that your time frame for holding it is hopefully at least 3 years, because if you do hold it for 3 years, you're most likely doing quite well. If you hold it for 4 years, you're also doing really well. You can see here, holding XRP for 4 years typically nets you between somewhere between 10 and 100x if you just hold it for 4 years. This is historical data. It does not mean it's going to continue this way, but you can use this to inform your decisions. I mean, if the 4-year ROI was, say 10%, you're losing say 90%, then obviously it wouldn't be a good long-term investment if it's always giving you a bad return. But with XRP, your 4-year ROI is actually quite good. I mean, you're basically, except for this small period over here, you're basically doing 10x or better with XRP. So putting them all together, you can see this is basically what it looks like. So your 1 year, not so great. Your 2 years, still not so great. But your 3 and 4 year returns are actually quite good. And why is this? So if we were to just exit out of this for a second and then just go to a chart on XRP, it's one of those rare times I'll pull up TradingView, but I do it every once in a while. You can see, or actually this is CoinTrader Pro, but you can see that XRP does really well, more or less, 2 different times. So this is actually Bitcoin, but if you look at XRP, you can see, here was a huge spike in the first quarter of 2017. Well, what happened in the first quarter of 2017? Bitcoin hit its previous all-time high. You can see from here, Bitcoin hit its previous all-time high. That's what triggered XRP's huge run-up. The next huge run-up occurred in very late, the last maybe the last week or so, and then going into January, so the last week or so of December 2017, and then the first week of 2018. And what was going on then was Bitcoin basically plateaued at 20,000 and was, the market was waiting to see what it was going to do, and the rest of the altcoins were just seeing, or a lot of altcoins were seeing incredible returns. Not all of them. There were a ton that didn't do anything, or you just seen losses. So what does this tell you? Okay, this tells you don't sweat the day-to-day stuff. Don't look at, don't worry that if XRP is losing a few cents here, gaining, going up, don't think you need to sell. Obviously, if you're a day trader and you're scalping, then by all means do what you need to do. If you're someone who's looking to just see a long-term return on your investment, don't sweat the day-to-day. And the reason is because if you look at these charts, you're more or less seeing a really good ROI as long as you're holding it for the long term. So what we're looking at for XRP is to see Bitcoin reach its previous all-time high, and at that point we would hopefully expect for XRP to then go off and try to find its new valuation, given, say, the health of the market, if Bitcoin can reach its previous all-time high. So until then, I don't really know that XRP is going to really see a whole lot of movement up or down. I mean, it might fluctuate a few cents here or there, but I don't think we're going to be seeing these 30, 40x things until Bitcoin gets to its all-time high of 20,000. Obviously, I could be wrong. That's just more or less what I think. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I did get a lot of requests to cover this type of stuff with XRP, so I hope you guys like it. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys like this content, and turn your notifications on. Until next time, bye.